This is really embarrassing doing this in public. Hi, hello, Rachel here. Also Dudu. Say hello. And Sergey. We are off to Wild and Woolly in Clapton to pick up another skein or two of US Wool's Rio Arts DK because I am knitting the Riggies Vest by Gudrun Johnston, which just came out yesterday. So exciting. So let's go. We went to Wild and Woolly, and then we went to Sergey's coworker's friend's new Irish bar called Moylets. Definitely give them a check out if you're in the area. They have a delicious pint of Guinness, and yeah, the whole vibe's really cozy and sweet, and the music isn't crazy loud, so you can actually have conversations with people, which I appreciate. If you hear my dog tip-tapping, or yep, there she goes, chewing on her toy. She is anxious because I am talking to no one, essentially. But the whole reason for going to Wild and Woolly was to pick up some more skeins. Yeah, I know. To pick up some more skeins of wool for my Riggies Vest, which I cast on this morning. I initially cast it on last night with some wool that I got from Lewis and Harris when we were there 2 years ago. And it's this really nice recycled wool, 100% wool from the woolen industry. It looks gray from afar, but it's actually made up of loads of different colors and is gorgeous. And still smells like sheep, which is one of my favorite parts. I initially had 5 skeins of this, one of which I used to make a hat for Sergey. And so I've had 4 skeins sitting around kind of waiting for the perfect project. And so I thought, ooh, this will be cool to use in a Riggies vest. And so I knit up a swatch and was able to hit gauge. It's an Aran weight yarn. Was able to hit gauge using 4mm needles. And it is dense. And I thought I would give it a go. And it was okay until like row 3, row 4, where my hand was like, absolutely not. It's just too dense for this yarn. I think this yarn deserves to be on a bigger needle. Which was a bit of a bummer, but had to rethink, realized that I had a skein of US wool. It's quite wild when you kick it up. But then when you start knitting with it, it has this really nice fade to it. Was pleasantly surprised because the projects and the swatches that I had seen looked quite dark, like almost black. And so when I picked up the skein like a month ago, I was quite surprised to see that it's actually more of a chocolatey brown, which is definitely not picking up on camera right now because it's so dark outside. I actually much prefer this because I wear more browns than I do blacks. So the Riggies Vest is knit in all over garter stitch, but instead of the garter stitch sitting horizontally, it sits vertically. So I thought this would be a really cool yarn to use for the vest. And it's essentially knitted in 4 different panels and then joined together. So hopefully that will have a really cool look to the vest by using this yarn. Hopefully I won't look like a zebra or something. So that's what I'm going to do now is kick up the skeins. And thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully this is somewhat interesting. All right, so I have spent basically all of today seaming up my Riggies Vest. I finished the 4 panels last weekend, but just haven't had time to seam. So sat down this morning and seamed the front two together, and chose the dark brown because I thought that looked best, and then decided to use the dark brown also for these white, for the back seam. Don't love this, but went ahead and then started to seam up the shoulder and the neck. I did pick up and add 9 stitches to the neck so that I could just get one clean seam in the contrast color. And then I kind of tried it on. Obviously I can't try it on fully because it's just those two connected on the shoulder. And while I really like the front, I hate the back. I don't like how the white is centered, and I don't like the contrast seam. And then I also don't like how the shoulders don't line up, and that is totally my fault. I hadn't really thought about it, but now that I can see it in front of me and have tried it on, I don't like it. So I think what I'm going to do is rip out this seam, rip out these 2 panels, and then reknit them so that I'm starting with, because this is the cast on edge in the middle here, I'm starting with the dark brown so that the back matches the front, and then the shoulders, the colors will flow over the shoulders. Yeah, because I think otherwise it's too much going on, too much, yeah. Because also the bottom ribbing is going to have some color variation, and so I think that will just be too much. Yeah, with the different back and the front, yeah. So that's a bit disappointing, but I mean, it's part of knitting in life, right? Yeah, so gonna go do that, and we'll bring you along for that. Had to turn the light on because it was too dark. Also, please don't judge this plant. It is not ours. We found it downstairs, and we do not have green thumbs, so we are giving it to my mother-in-law to save. But yeah. Well, hello. Welcome to Scotland. We are up here. We've been up here since Saturday. It is now Wednesday. We're taking care of some family up here. So yeah, we've been hanging out. It's been cold, but beautiful weather aside from today. It's a bit windy and gray today, but no rain so far. But yeah, which means I've been able to wear my Riggies vest a ton. I finished it last weekend, so not the Saturday we drove up, but the weekend prior, and just procrastinated really hardcore on sewing in the ends. But then once I found out that we were coming up here, hastily sewed in those ends, even on the car ride. And yeah, have been getting a ton of wear out of it. I really, really like it, and definitely would recommend. I think the last part that you saw was me deciding to go back and to rip out the back because the white in the middle I wasn't a fan of. So yeah, I reknit those, which you can see here. So now the back is essentially the same as the front, with the dark brown being in the middle. And yeah, used the dark brown to do the seams along the middle and along the shoulders here and underneath as well. And then use the cream to do the neck seam. And yeah, just really like how it flows and none of the seaming is really like distracting from the garment. It also meant that the shoulders not so much here, but on this side, the colors just flow from the front panels to the back panels a lot nicer. Yeah, and you can't really see the seam aside from the shoulder where there's just a bit more cream, but that's fine. And then used the same yarn, obviously, to do the bottom ribbing, and did a shorter rib just because I like the way that it hit right here. Love the I-cord edges along the arms. I think they just are just really classy. Yeah, love it. I will say my only complaint is sewing in the ends. There were a ton of ends to sew in. Did not enjoy that. But otherwise, it's a really nice, easy pattern to follow. Really easy if you're a beginner. Yeah, would recommend it. I would go down a size if I were to knit this again. I knit the second size. My gauge was okay when I did the gauge swatch. I haven't measured since. I think it came out a bit bigger. So that could also be why the size 2 is a bit bigger. But yeah, happy with it. Yeah. I could see myself wearing this a ton. I've been wearing it with jeans, with like my lighter jeans, and then a long sleeve undershirt. And then today I'm just wearing it with black, and then my brown boots. But have some skirts that I could wear it with. Could even wear this on top of a sweater because it is quite spacious. Yeah. What else to say? I loved working with the U.S. wool yarn. Don't know if I mentioned, but this yarn has a really special place in my heart. I ran a half marathon up on North U.S. 2 summers ago, and unfortunately didn't get to go up to the mill because it was closed. So I've been anxiously awaiting a chance to use the yarn. I purchased it from Wild and Woolly instead in London, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. I love how it turned out. I think it's a really unique yarn, and yeah, it just showcases all of the beautiful shades of natural wool. Yeah, I bought 4 skeins in total. I used up 3 and a bit, so we'll need to plot what my next project is with the last bit of yarn, but maybe a color work. Yeah, if you have any ideas. Oh, I was thinking the Rosa Pomar sheep sweater. I know that is a fingering weight gauge. And this is DK. But something like that where like the fade would be really nice and it would also showcase, yeah, the wool off. Send me some ideas. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful and somewhat entertaining. And thank you for joining me as I get over my fear of doing this in public. See you later.